Hello everyone. As we saw in the last session, we talked about how to draw clothes and human figure step by step based on real life references, as you see here. So we covered this figure and this figure. And in today's session, we are going to continue talking about the same topic, taking two other examples to cover as many scenarios as possible and to help you the most drawing or being able to draw as many figures as you can, or even from your imagination or from real life references as you see here. So today we are going to take completely different design or different shapes, starting from the first one. So let me just move my iPad a little bit right here and lower it down. Here we go. So as we saw in the last session, so the very first thing you need to consider is, let me just quickly turn this down a little bit because the white background was causing some exposure. Anyway, so the very first thing you want to start with is actually where your shoulder is directed and the direction or the main 2 points of your shoulders, which are this one and this one. We start with a very simple circle to emphasize or to indicate where the neck is going to start, 2 points for the shoulder. And as you see, the direction of this shoulder now is kind of straight. So if you compare it to the last session when we covered this one and this one, the shoulder direction is not straight, but it's kind of like bent a little bit, as you see. So in this example, it's kind of different because it's kind of straight, so we need to follow that. So now we start step by step, on our paper, putting exactly what represents here. So first we start with the circle to emphasize where the neck is going to be, and again straight line to indicate the shoulders, 1 point and 2 point, 2 circles. And the second step is actually to draw the spine. We need to define where the spine is going to be, which is going to be this way. So also the spine is kind of straight, so the second step is to define the spine, which is going to be straight, as you saw, and again where the rest is going to start and ends. So the lower back or the back is going to end this way, so here, and the lower body part is going to start right here and continue down. So the point, we need also 2 points for the rest, which are this way and this one. So now again, going back to our paper, so we draw a line and 1 point and 2 point. As we saw in the last session and we explained, the line of the shoulder is usually brighter or wider than the rest, as you see here. So if I connect these points together, we are going to have this kind of shape. So this way, so keep that in mind, that the rest needs to be tighter than the shoulder. So if we now, having that said, if we connect these 2 points together, we're actually going to have this kind of shape. And the same shape is actually mirrored, as you see, if we talk about the lower part. So if now we draw 2 points where the skirt ends and connect these dots together, we are going to have the same shape, but actually mirrored, as you see. So having that said, we again reflect that on our paper. Here we go. Now, as you see, we have the main shape of the body. So now we can deep dive into defining where the hand is going to be. So as you see, the hand, the arm, so the upper arm is going to start here and end there. So I put a point and connect them together. And the arm also, the hand, is going to end this way by here. So I connect these 2 points. And the same applies for this hand, the right one. So I connect these together. Then, so when I do that, I kind of like have, as you see, this kind of shape. So if I now, duplicate this. So as you see, we kind of like have this kind of shape, very simple, that actually explains to us and shows us how the shape is going to be. So now reflecting that, this is our point again. And the arm is going to start or to end a little bit before the skirt. And the same applies for here. And the last part. So now, as you see, we kind of like have the same, the main shape. Now we can start just connecting actually these lines to create our shape. So the shoulder, we can start with like 2 circles, as you see here, and connect them to the neck. I'm now just connecting, as you see here, these lines together, which actually help. Now is very easy. Why? Because we have the main shape already constructed and the proportions are correct. So it's gonna be right now way easier actually to draw, to first like now continue with the shirt, the cravat as well. The cravat ends right here, like before the rest. So which is going to be something like that. Here we go. And the jacket, I'm just now following, as you see, following the lines that I already have. And having these lines from the beginning makes the whole process much easier because the shape is going to be correct and accurate. Nothing will go wrong. Here we go. And the same goes for this direction, for this side, sorry. Here we go. And the hand now. And the shirts as well, below the jacket. As you see, I'm just now connecting these lines together. And that's all actually I'm doing now. Why? Because we spent some time on getting the shape, the whole shape and the proportions accurate from the very beginning. And that's why it gets much easier now to just easily connect these lines together. Here we go. If I feel that the hands are way too long, so we can easily now reduce the length a little bit, just a tiny bit. Even this small adjustment is going to be easy. It's not going to be difficult. Why? Because the proportions of our shape is already accurate from the beginning. That which makes it much easier for us to really get the right shape. Here we go. Just a little bit of wrinkles to add some details. Here we go. So now we can use any pen that you have available to kind of like highlight this is too thin. Let me switch it to a little bit thicker one. Yeah, this one is good. Just to kind of highlight what we have been drawing. Very simple, yeah. Just move your hand freely and don't be afraid to make any mistakes. Making mistakes is okay, it's fully okay. It actually helps us to grow, and the more mistakes you make, in my opinion, the better you get, because the mistake you make, the chance of repeating this mistake is going to be lower and lower the more you draw. So having that said, it means if you draw more and make mistakes more, you will get better and better, because these mistakes are not going to be repeated forever, yeah? Ideally speaking, of course. Just a little bit of details here. Yeah, just move your hand, okay? We are sketching now, we are not painting or drawing, okay? We are just like creating this shape. This is what actually sketching means, yeah? Of course, even with sketching, we also take care of shadows and light sources, also where the light is coming from, and these details, even for sketching, yeah? So, but nevertheless, we are going to focus only on sketching today, just to give you an overview how to make this shape actually the most easiest and fast way. Like as you see here, we kind of like created this shape very quickly, and yeah, like in just a few minutes, in 10 minutes or so. So why? Because the method is very clear and it's simple to follow if you do it step by step, okay? So having that said, let's take another example, yeah? As I said in the previous session, as I said previously, in order to cover as many scenarios as possible. So let's take, for example, yeah, let's take this one. Here we go. Now you see it. So again, we start with simple circle to define where the neck is going to be, 2 circles to define where the shoulder is, and the shoulder line, we need it here. So having that said, we again go back to our paper. We draw a simple line like this, just to get the 2 shapes in the right scale, or like in similar scale, yeah? This is the neck, and let me move it a little bit to the left, like, yeah, like that. And again, the shoulder line the 2 points that defines where the shoulder starts and ends. The next step, as we saw here, is the spine. The spine is going to be also straight, and it's gonna end approximately at the beginning of the lower part, or at the end of the lower part of the back. Here we go, like approximately like here. So these are the 2 points for the rest. So having that said, we following this procedure, we now go down with the spine, and 2 points that defines our the rest of the body. Here we go. So now if we connect these two together, we kind of like get this shape. So as you see, if we compare it together, it's kind of accurate, and it's actually like kind of matching, you know, and this is a good indicator to tell me, okay, I am on the right track, and my shape is going to be accurate at the very end. So now we can add like very small circles, or like very simple line to define where the breast is going to be. So it's going to be like somewhere like here. Yeah, because we are drawing a female body, you know, so we need this to emphasize this. So it's gonna be around here. Yeah. So moving on, we have also the lower part. So the lower part, if I break it down to 2 shapes, so I'm gonna have this shape and also this shape, because this image, in compared to this one, we kind of like see more from the lower part, like from her leg and upper leg, in compared to this one. That's why we have 2 shapes. So if we break them down in a simple way, we have 1 and 2. So having that said, we also need to consider that. So this is this is actually needs to be a little bit moved up. Yeah, like this, maybe. Yeah, this is better. Just tiny bit, okay? As you saw here, so adjusting these lines and the proportions now is much easier than afterwards. Like imagine having these details all over, then you notice, okay, your wrist is way too big, so it's gonna be way too difficult to adjust. That's why we start with this method, because adjusting everything from the beginning is much easier. It just makes it easier for you, you know, step by step. Yeah. So now let me just draw like a middle line that actually helps me to get these shapes kind of like symmetrical. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that right here as well. So this is the first shape, and the second shape is gonna end right here. So as you see here, if I look at it, I kind of like feel it's matching. It's already like accurate because I followed step by step. Now it's a good indicator that actually tells me, okay, I can move on to draw the hands. So the hands, so the shoulder starts here and the upper arm ends right here, exactly like this point. Yeah. So we draw a line, and as you see, she is opening her hand like this. Yeah, so we need to follow that, drawing that line. It's gonna go to this direction, and the same goes for this one. Here we go. So this is the shape we are going to have. Having that said, we need again to reflect that here. So the points are a little bit above the rest. So it's gonna be something like here, maybe. So now as you see, this is the line, maybe a little bit opened more like this, and also the second line. Here we go, maybe a little bit opened up a little bit more. So as you see, now I can see and can tell it's accurate. Now we can move on to draw the shoulders with two simple circles. As you see here, I didn't draw the circle up because it's gonna be like way too damaged. So you can actually squeeze the circle of the shoulder between these two lines, as I did here. Once you do that, you can now easily create the neck and connect these with simple curves, which are actually these two. Now I am literally just connecting these lines together. Yeah. So we have the hand as well. So now we can move on to draw the a little bit more details. We move on to draw the shirts, because she has several, as you see here. Here we go. Then the cravat as well. And the cravat, as you see, it's kind of like long one. It goes over the wrist and ends right here. So we need also to follow that. Having that said, we have the line of our wrist. It means the point of the end of the cravat, it should be right here, approximately, yeah? Kind of a big one. Anyway. Here we go. Now it looks good. And now we need to add the second shirt, which is the lower one. Yeah, it's gonna look something like that. You can remove these circles now because you have the shoulders already. And we need to define these 2 points, as you see, where the sleeves start. So it's gonna be something like here, where the breasts are. Having that said, we connect these two together. And as you see, now we start to get something. Let me just rotate it a little bit for you. Here we go. So now I easily start to add details because my shape is already accurate. So nothing will go wrong now, because it's just about adding details to the core lines that I already have, and the proportions are accurate, so nothing will go wrong. So having that said, I cannot express that enough, but actually having the right proportions right and accurate from the beginning is the most important thing you need to focus on. Because when you do that, you just get your shape accurate eventually, and yeah, nothing will go wrong. It's gonna be really easy to adjust, even to adjust it if you want to adjust it, you know. So now I make these curves a little bit smoother, just tiny bit, yeah. just a little bit of wrinkles, as you see here, because we have some wrinkles, and we need some like 2 lines here to actually emphasize her breasts a little bit, just tiny bit, yeah. And the second hand, which is going to be starting right here. As you see, I am like at the same time adding some wrinkles to my line, because the line is already existing, so that's why it gets now much easier to follow these lines, and just like adding as many details as you want, but don't overdo it. So yeah, just a little bit of details is okay, because remember, we are just sketching, we are not painting or like drawing like a from A to Z, you know, just sketching to understand how to create these shapes. Here we go. Maybe this is a little bit too thin. There we go. Yeah, now I can say it's accurate and it's actually matching what we see there. Just make it a little bit tighter. Maybe this is too tight, so maybe I can adjust it a little bit like this to not make it that tight. Here we go. So now I can really say it's matching. Now I can move on to adding details with my pen. So just try to move your hand and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's fully okay to make mistakes. Here we go. The t-shirt as well, the cravat. A little bit of wrinkles, as you see here, because we do have some wrinkles there, as you see. So maybe like this as well, to give the image some depth. Yeah. And the neck. Here we go. So now, as you see, we have the main shapes. Everything looks great. Everything looks matching. Now we can start to remove these pencils from behind, because we actually don't need them anymore. As you see now, it looks clean. It looks perfect. And to start adding some kind of strokes, I wouldn't call it shading per se, but kind of like strokes. For example, like we can add some thickness, as you see here, because these details add some very nice details to our drawing. Just a tiny bit, okay? Some thickness, not everywhere. Wherever you think it's gonna be dark, like shadow area, so it can actually get some strokes here. We can add some strokes like these wrinkles, for example, exactly how I'm doing now. not everywhere, okay? This way, actually, your hand gets stronger when it comes to sketching, exactly as I'm doing now. You don't necessarily need to move your hand as fast as I'm doing, because this only comes with time. Nevertheless, try it out, either slow or fast, it's okay, but try this, like, to add some strokes a little bit, because it actually makes your drawing even richer and better. Here we go. Just kind of like a little bit of strokes. Wherever I think I have a shadow or it's gonna be dark, I can add these strokes. Here we go. Even shadows, we can also add some details, as you see here, but maybe I can choose the thinner one, which is this one. Yeah, the wrinkles as well, as you see, just tiny bit, okay, to give me like an idea where the shadow is going to be. This is not like a rule, you can try it out, but not necessarily, okay? It's just like to give you a better idea what you can add and how to continue with your drawing. Here we go, and the same applies for here as well, but let me focus on this one for the sake of the time of our session. So as you see now, I'm gradually adding these details, which makes our drawing even better and better, gradually and slowly. So yeah, this is the session for today. Consider supporting my channel by subscribing it to help me, yeah, keep motivated creating this content, and hopefully hopefully helping you out to find your own style, to learn how to draw if you are a beginner, like fully beginner, just to do step by step with me with my sessions. Yeah, try it out, have fun, enjoy it. And if you have any questions, just leave me any questions in the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.